Hey guys, it's probably pretty hard to see me right now since it's like nighttime, but it's the night of the Mars opposition of 2022. So basically, Mars is not going to get any closer to us for 2 more years. It's right up there, that red dot next to the moon. And yeah, I thought it would be a good day to make a video because yeah, we have the moon, so it's actually bright enough where you could see a bit. I mean, it's still pretty dim, but yeah, I got my flashlight. So you could see the telescope here. We got a camera so we could take a picture of it, and tripod so you guys could see me work. Christmas decorations, of course. And yeah, we're gonna see what we can do. I was looking at Mars through the eyepiece like 10 minutes ago, and it looked really nice. We could see dark regions on it, and you could even see an ice cap on the bottom. So we're gonna try and capture all that with the camera. I'm not sure if we'll be able to, but we're gonna try our best, and yeah, we'll see what we can do. Alright guys, we got Mars in the field of view of the eyepiece right now. Now we actually have to hook up the camera to the telescope and then refocus it, which is a bit tricky since finding the place where the camera actually focuses is different from where your eye focuses. So we're going to do that right now. Alright guys, let me show you what we actually see on the camera screen right now. So right now it's very out of focus, but we do have it lined up with Mars in the finder scope, so we know we're pretty close. So what I did is turned up the ISO and the shutter speed so that it's very sensitive to light, and then you can see there's a big red circle right here, like really big. So we know that light there is coming from Mars. So now, since Mars is like roughly within the field, we just have to refocus it. So as we zoom out, it gets more and more focused until we get the best focus, which is when the dot will be smallest. So about there. And now that we have it, we should tighten up all the knobs on the telescope so that it doesn't really move. So you can see Mars there. To better focus it, we should use a mask, which you could stick over the top of the telescope, and it basically here, I'll just grab it from inside and then I'll show you guys what it does. Alright guys, here's the mask I was talking about. It's made out of a paper plate, so it's like free, which is good. It has these little triangles in it, so when I stick it onto the top of the telescope, just like this, the picture in the camera is actually going to turn from a circle to 3 triangles. If I turn the shutter speed back down. Here, wait. Let's turn this stuff back up high so we have enough light. And where's Mars? There it is. So you'll notice that if I get it out of focus with the mask on, it turns into 3 dots because of the 3 triangles that we cut into the top. And if we zoom in, they converge. And when they're at their when they converge the most, that's when it's at perfect focus. And that's like a strategy we could use to make sure that we have the perfect focus, which is important to get like a usable image. So let's get Mars into the center, and it looks like it's in perfect focus now, but to make sure we should zoom in using the focus magnifier. So let's go application, list. You guys don't have to worry about this if you're trying to do this at home, because this is kind of specific to this one camera. And now I just have to link it up to my phone. Alright guys, so we connected it to the phone, which is going to be useful later, so that way there's Mars on our phone because it's like linked. This is going to be useful later because then we could take a picture on the phone, and that way we don't have to touch the telescope, which would make it, you know, wobble. So let's zoom in onto this and make sure that it's focused right. So focus magnifier, let's get it right over here, and let's see. So it's very wobbly, which is the hardest part of this. So we have our 3 dots. Focus, focus, focus. Try to get it right so it's a circle again. And you'll notice if we go too much, it'll become 3 dots again. So let's go right in the middle here. Okay guys, this looks pretty good. So let's take off our mask now, like that. We could just toss it over here. And now we just have to get the ISO and the shutter speed perfect so that, you know, it looks good. So let's go for 320 and zoom in to see what it looks like. Guys, the GoPro camera just actually died. The battery died, so I went in and plugged it in. This might actually be a better setup, except now I can't really use the app that we need to take the pictures, but I could still show you guys the process. Basically, all I'm gonna do now is find the right ISO and shutter speed, and then like inspect it on this screen to see like what gives me the best picture. And then once I have that, I'm gonna take like 30, 40, maybe 50 pictures of Mars, and then tomorrow we're gonna actually stack them on the computer to try to get like one good image. So I'm gonna do that now, and then I'll be back on the GoPro, which will be charged by the time I'm done taking all these pictures. Alright guys, we're back on the GoPro. Mars is still up there. It's only been like 15 minutes, but I've taken 45 pictures. We're going for 5 more. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can see I'm taking it on my phone, and then it snaps on the camera, and that way I don't have to click anything and bump the telescope. Because look, you see Mars there. Even if I just tap the camera like that, you see how much it moves. So yeah, that's why we do that. This time I actually shot at a really low ISO of 500. I've never shot that low before, so it might turn out like really badly, or maybe it'll turn out really well. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's all the pictures we need to take. And yeah, now we'll just bring all this stuff back inside and process it tomorrow and see what we can get. Alright guys, we're on the computer now. I went ahead and moved the pictures from the camera into this folder here called Lights. You can see one of the pictures here. Mars is up there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to stack them. So the first step to that is opening Photoshop here, and then dragging a picture in, preferably one where Mars is like towards the center. So like this one isn't the best. We should probably do something like this would be better. So let's drag that in. Then hit enter, and then enter again, and that puts it in. So now we have to do that for all the other ones. So we're going to go ahead and select all of them, deselect that and the original picture, and then drag it in. And then we're going to have to enter like 50 times for each one of these photos. Alright guys, all the pictures are in the document now, so let's drag that up here, make it big. And what we're going to do now is manually stack them. So manually stacking them just like kind of brings the pictures into like the right general area, and then we're going to use a program called Linkios to actually computer stack them. And this program's free for the Mac, and if you have a Windows, there's other programs for that, but I'll just show you how to do it this way. So first we have to select all of them except for the last one and make the opacity 50%, and then we have to deselect every single one of these. Just a few more there. All right, now we have to start at the this one, the second to bottom one. Click it, and then you'll see that it's like a dimmer version of it up here. So we're gonna have to move that, and then try to get it right on top of the original, like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it should kind of overlap, like mostly. That's important. So then do it for the next one. That should be good. Next one, like that. Next one. Oh, like that. I'm just going to go ahead and do it for the rest of these, and I'll get back to you after I finish. And last one. Drag it up, and there. Okay, now we have all of them. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to crop it, because this document is huge. We have like 50 raw pictures in here, and raw pictures take up a lot of space. So we're going to crop it down a bit, just like this. Whoops. Let's get Mars right in the middle there. Zoom in a bit, and maybe a bit more. And crop. All right, here's our cropped picture. The next thing that we have to do is scroll down here and make sure that there's no like cut off parts of the picture. Like if there's a big white chunk in the picture, you'll notice that. But it looks like we are good. Yeah, it looks good. So now we have to go back to all these layers and make the opacity 100% again. Another 1,100. And uncheck this little lock. And then we have to export here, layers to files. And just choose the folder that you want to export this to. I'll just export it to the lights photo folder. I'll make one inside called like cropped and open it. Make sure it's a TIFF file. That's important. And then run this. It's going to run the process, and basically in that folder we're just going to have a bunch of independent cropped images where Mars is right in the middle of all of them, and that's the kind of image that we're going to have to put into the next program, which is called Linkios. Alright guys, it just finished. We don't have to save this Photoshop document because it's going to take up a lot of space, so just delete that. And then in here there's a folder called cropped, and all of our pictures are here. It looks good. As you can see, one single picture is like really bad quality, but when we stack all of them, it'll look good, trust me. So open up Linkios. You can get that online. I'll put the link in the description. So now we just have to drag all of these into the document like that. There's 52 of them. All right, they're all here. Now the next thing we have to do is just click on one of them, make sure it's showing up right, then hit align. Now in the align we have to, here, I'll make this bigger. Just drag a box right here over this. This box just draw it like right over the planet, and you don't have to draw it any bigger, because as long as each photo has the planet within this box, we'll be good. And we made sure of that in Photoshop. So hit align. All the green ones are the ones that it was able to align. So most of them, if not all of them, should, show up green. So now hit analyze, and again, just draw a box over the planet, and then hit analyze. Now what this does is it gives like a number for the quality of each image. And then you could like kind of filter only the qualities above 5.91, for example, we used. I'm just going to include all of them because why not? So next, stack, and now drag the box a bit bigger than the planet, because this is like the size of the final image. So if you draw it just over the planet, you'll have a tiny image. So like that. To double size, that makes it a bit more detailed. And stack. All right, here's our stacked picture. It doesn't look too good now, but we're not done yet. We're gonna edit it even more in Photoshop. So hit save image, save it as a TIFF, and we'll just do it into that same folder. Let's just do cropped. And there we go. Again, we don't have to save this file, but we do have our TIFF file here. So open it with Photoshop. All right, here it is. So there's a lot of different ways you could edit this, but I'm not the best at editing this kind of stuff, so I'm just going to do a simple curves layer. I don't really know how curves work, to be honest, but I know if you just like kind of experiment around with it, you could get, pretty good results. So yeah, just mess around with this curve. Let's see, let's try moving this down here. That looks pretty good. How about here to here? That looks good too. I like this one. This looks pretty good. There's probably other ways you could do it to make it look even better. I mean, that's too far, obviously. That's also not good. Again, I'm not the best at this, but, this is pretty good. I'm happy with this. Let's rotate it. Just like that, I guess. And yeah, there's a picture of Mars. So you could see here, you could see the dark regions on the top, and you could also see the polar ice cap on the bottom, which is pretty cool. I have a picture over here that I found on online that was taken last night of Mars. So it was in here. This. I know it looks weird, but you could definitely see the comparison here. You could see the that ice cap on the bottom and the dark regions on top, and of course it's reddish. So yeah, pretty happy with this result, seeing that we had a pretty small telescope and only 50 images. Yeah, now we're just gonna save this picture, save as. We could save it as like save a copy actually. we could just save it as a PNG to that same folder. We'll call it Mars. And don't have to save this if we don't want. And yeah, now here's our final image right here. So yeah, pretty happy with this again. I think we did some good work, and yeah, see you guys next time.